I'm Malcolm Brister. I'm here to interview Mr. Kirkland Bryant on a controversial issue in this society. We're here to get his stance on it. Mr. Bryant, what are your thoughts on same-sex marriages and LGBTQ impact on society?
Well, they're equal. There's nothing different about them. They're created by God just like each one of us. They are allowed to have their own preferences. They can decide what they want to do. God knew when He made them, their destiny, their choice, their route. So for me to judge them or have any type of stance on their preference, then I'm wrong. They have to be accepted just like everyone else in society.
That's a good answer. I believe that would give you a lot of support from the community.
Thank you.
Do you believe in a higher power that holds one accountable?
I think that we all are ordained from such a cause. We are ordained for a purpose. We all have someone who made our birth a purposeful birth where He made sure that we each had an ordained path.
Immigration has caused men, women, and children to be shuffled into the United States. Is it fair for American citizens' taxes to be used for immigrants?
That's a good question, man, because these immigrants are migrating over here because they don't have jobs where they're at. They don't have income to support their family. So when they come over here, we're trying to help them, but at the same time we have a poor community. We have people in poverty. We have LA, we have New York, we have Chicago, we have major cities that are going through a lot. So we need to make sure that we support them just as well. So I can't say that I won't welcome them in, but I say we need to make sure we take care of what we have here first before we move forward.
That's understandable. Judges are appointed for an indefinite term. U.S. attorneys are term appointed. What are your thoughts on these officials handing out man hours that are egregious?
Um, I don't think it's their fault. When you put a prosecutor in a position, when you put a judge in a position, their job is to give us time. When you have mandatory minimums and they have to follow a mandatory minimum, then they can't do anything. They don't even want to sentence you, but by law, if they make an exception for you, now they got to make an exception for everyone else. So what we have to do is correct the mandatory minimums, the system, the guidelines, and then these judges can have more leeway to not have to make it 10 years for this, 15 years for this. You know what I'm saying?
In order to preserve a person's fundamental rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, what should be done?
We have to have a fair justice system. We have it where people are getting a fair due process of law, not where a prosecutor is coming to somebody, threatening them with 20 years, and now they take a 10-year bid because they're scared that they might not ever see the day of light.
In the fatal murder of Breonna Taylor, laws were broken by Louisville Police Department by falsifying a warrant, which as a result caused an innocent woman to be killed. Do you think justice prevailed while officers only facing up to 5 years for murder?
They had a false warrant, and they went into a woman's apartment and killed her. And now you're telling me they're only facing 5 years? When you have anything that is false premises, that means that someone has to be held accountable. She, they should be facing life. If one of us went into somebody else's house and killed them, we'd be looking at 20, 30 years.
I agree. Tyree Nichols was killed, tased, and pepper sprayed, and desperately called out for help before being beaten to death by five Memphis police officers. Who gave these officers the authority to dish out justice rather than depending on the law to administer justice?
See, again, these officers are inspired by captains, the mayors, the governors, and telling them to crack down on crime and violence. So when you put pressure on officers to make decisions where they're nothing but puppets, now they can do whatever they want. So when they beat that man till he couldn't breathe, when they tased him, when they was five of them kicking him on the ground, that's not no normal thing. That's not humane. That's them basically killing a man.
Silver or lead? Be corrupt or be killed is the motto by gangs, cops, and officials. What's more valuable, the lives of the politicians, law enforcement, or the statistics behind mass incarceration due to drugs being legalized?
Well, I'm gonna say this. These communities are influenced by the money that helps empower their communities, build them up. And right now, in some countries, drugs is the major impact. That's how they make money every day. That's how families survive. So what they have to do is fix their structure. So now, instead of depending on the cartel, they're dependent on the community, agriculture, uh, small local businesses. But now those small local businesses are being driven out by mainstream businesses such as Walmart, Targets, Giant Eagles. So now mom and pop businesses cannot produce any money. So now the average civilian cannot defend on his own.
Outrageous bonds. Guilty until proven innocent. Please taken due to facing cruel amounts of time, jail time instead of rehabilitation for drug users. Do you agree with the current infrastructure and the people in charge?
In no shape or form do I agree with that because if I go into the court system, I'm supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So by you incarcerating me, taking me from my family, taking me from my job, you're already saying to me that I'm guilty. We didn't even go through our process of law. In some states, it takes 3 years before you're proven guilty. So you done lost relationships, income, you done lost time with your family. And what if you beat the case? Can you get that time back?
No, sir.
You can't get any of that time back. So we are the ones that's being, how do I say it in a polite way? We are being victimized by the system instead of the system having justice for us.
Hospitals only take patients for a limited stay, causing mentally ill to be pushed right back into society untreated. What is your solution to the problem of mental health?
My brother, it's a very simple, sensitive subject. My brother is bipolar schizophrenia. And if he's going through one of his mental breakdowns, they put him in the hospital for a couple of days, give him some medicine, and he's right back into society. My family don't want to deal with him and his problems. So at the end of the day, the only thing he does now is take some medicine where they put his mind in a state of calm and chillness, but he's right back to the same way he was. So we don't have any long term solutions.
Do you agree with billions of dollars spent on developing weapons of mass destruction and defending suspect foreign regiments?
See, when we build weapons of mass destruction, that means we plan on weapons coming back at us. So when you are basically, it's basically you opening the door because you want to prevent it, but you're actually building on top of that door. So if we're gonna stop people from attacking each other, we have to have a non-violent, be able to compromise, be able to talk. But we can't do any of that because we so focused on making sure we got the biggest weapons. Other countries don't have any type of nuclear weapons.
It's not who got the biggest gun. Are benefits justifiable by companies that use chemicals to preserve foods, injecting growth hormones in labs that aren't FDA inspected yearly?
Well, we eat these foods every day. You seeing women that's younger having bodies that's grown women. You seeing people go to all these restaurants where food has been grown exponentially fast. So it doesn't even, so instead of a chicken having 2 years to mature, this chicken is matured at 9 to a years old. And now we ingesting that. And the food that the chicken eat has been used with pesticides. So now we harming our bodies with more than 3 or 4 different harmful chemicals. And now you expect for us to be able to not have cancer, to be able to fight bacteria and infections. We are obesity. We are the prime example of why this is happening to this country today.
How do you think your life experiences, including being a convicted felon, can help others with life's many challenges?
Well, I've been in the belly of the beast. I've had 15 years before I got my case overturned. I've seen the tears of men that might not ever see their family again. I've seen men turn to drugs in here because they can't have a release. They don't have the family support out there. The women that they depended on left them. The people in here don't give a my fault. The people in here don't care about what they're going through. They insensitive. So you might one day You might one day come up to somebody in here and say the wrong thing, and now he outlashes on you due to you not being sensitive to what that man is going through.
Do you believe activists or politicians impact our country more?
I think politicians lay the law down. They're the ones that set up the system. But the ones that impact the most is the activists. The activists are the ones that standing up for injustices, racism, segregation. But the politicians are the ones that's benefiting from all the laws, the municipal gains. So we have to find a balance.
What is your plan of action to make a difference?
My plan of action is to start in the worst neighborhoods, go right into the belly of the beast where our community is being broken apart. So once we can educate the youth, turn the system, show them there's another route besides drugs, guns, and violence, then we can start seeing some of the benefits of them going off to college, less murders, different changes. But until we do those things, we won't even scratch the surface because we're so focused on minute things like, oh, can I still get a job? Can I get my GED? These are things where other communities are way above. There's people graduating when they're in 10th grade, or have taken college courses when they're in 9th grade. We in black communities still have books that are outdated. So it's a lot that needs to improve.
Why would people rally around your vision?
They will rally around my vision because it affects all of us. There's all types of people that are here today. There's not just drug dealers. There's people in finances, people that scam. There's all types of different backgrounds here. So if we can all come together here, what do you think we can do when we get out of here? We can all have an impact. Not only just drug cases, but there's also sex offender cases where people are getting caught just looking at a picture that someone else sent them, and they're getting convicted of it because they opened up a link and they didn't know who was sent them. There's a lot of things that need to be changed.
What is your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge is understanding that my life was purposeful. That everything that I went through, all the hardship I experienced, now I need to use that. I need to use that and harness that and embrace that struggle so I can influence others. And we all can have a platform, we all can have a voice, but if we don't take advantage of it, then we're gonna be susceptible to the same things. It's a reoccurring pattern every generation.
Well, this concludes our interview. Would y'all like, comment, and subscribe, please? And have a good afternoon.
Thank you, I appreciate it.